Hello, and welcome to my free lesson called How to Get Your Vision from Your Head to the Canvas Without Making Dull, Flat Paintings. I am very glad you've decided to join me. My name is Laurel. I am a full-time artist. I live in Boston, and I am really excited to share with you some mistakes I made on my artist journey and how I corrected them to become the full-time artist I am today. So just to state the obvious, you can see I am in my car. That is where I'm recording this slideshow. Why am I in my car? I'm in my car because this is real life as a full-time artist. My son, who is currently 6 months old as of this recording, is in my small apartment with his babysitter. And my studio, which you're gonna see pictures of in this lesson, is pretty loud. It's in a public space. There's like a fan on all the time. So this is the quietest place I have to record this lesson for you. So without further ado, I am going to dive right into this lesson. You're gonna be switching over to see just the PowerPoint slides. I'll talk you through them. I'm really excited for you to watch this lesson. I created it after talking to lots and lots of artists who felt a little bit lost on their journey, didn't really know how to get their ideas from their head onto the paper, onto the canvas. So if that's you, I created this for you and I'm really excited about it. I hope you enjoy it. Let's dive right into the slideshow. This is how to get your vision from your head onto the canvas without making dull, flat paintings. So if you want to, after this slideshow, connect with me on Instagram. You can find me at Laurel Greenfield Art. And after watching this class, DM me, let me know your biggest takeaway. Let me know if you have any questions. I love connecting with other artists. So this lesson is for painters who want to develop their unique style and want to make paintings that pop with color. It's for you if you have amazing ideas in your head, but your hand doesn't quite know how to create those ideas onto the canvas. And this class is for you if you want to feel fully confident about what to do next in a painting, and you want to feel like your skills are good enough. So it's for you if you want to develop your unique, recognizable style so you never feel the need to compare yourself to other artists. And maybe you're thinking about selling your paintings and you want to be confident enough in your art to sell it. So what you're looking at is actually a tent from my booth this past weekend at a show in Boston. And maybe this is something you're thinking about doing and you want to bring your art to a level that you're comfortable with showcasing to your city and to the world. So just a quick heads up before we start, this is not a step-by-step painting tutorial. If you're looking for that, you can find those on my YouTube channel, Laurel Greenfield Art. This is a little bit different. This is lessons that you can incorporate now to change your paintings and level up as an artist. So this is more like a class with specific lessons I'm going to teach you, not a step-by-step painting tutorial. So I am also, just full transparency, at the end of this class, I'm going to tell you about my paid painting course at the end in case that's of interest to you and you want more in-depth technique lessons. But even if you don't sign up for that, which you absolutely do not have to, you can benefit from this free class no matter what. I'm going to explain a lot of really useful tidbits starting right now. So if you are ready to dive in, let's keep going. This is me in my Boston Public Market studio, which I told you at the very beginning, not recording here because it's a little loud. That's why I'm in my car recording this for you. So to get into the learning mindset, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you are applying for a local art show. So this is me last October. I was pregnant with my son at the time, and this is an art show that I applied for in Rhode Island. So I want you to imagine that you're applying for a show like this, whether you've done this before or not. So imagine that the application says something like this. We are looking for emerging artists for an art show, and to apply, you have to submit 10 beautiful, vibrant paintings that caption your vision and unique style. So let's say you need to create an entirely new body of work for this show. So many artists would approach this in one of two ways. They would either be trial and error Tracy, who we can see on the top, she's not looking too thrilled, or confident Casey, she's much more excited about this challenge. So let's dive into these two artists. So trial and error Tracy, maybe this is where you are right now. She has no idea what to paint. She doesn't plan her color palette. She works slowly on each painting. She's getting caught up in the details. She can't really figure out why 3 paintings are working and 7 other paintings look terrible, so she can't fix them. She gets frustrated and she doesn't finish, and she feels so stuck and like she's not good enough to apply. So maybe this sounds familiar to you, or maybe you already are. I hope you already are, but if you're not, I'm here to help you. This is confident Casey. She doesn't start painting right away. She clarifies her vision, she creates a plan for her paintings, she follows her reliable painting process, and quickly gets her ideas on the canvas. She knows how to problem solve when she has trouble, which is inevitable, but she completes all 10 paintings easily because she knows what to do when she feels lost. Her paintings pop with vibrant color, she sees her vision on the canvas, she applies, and she gets into the show. So where do you want to be? And who do you relate to right now? If you're feeling like more of a trial and error Tracy, that's okay. These lessons are exactly for you to transition to a confident Casey. So if we haven't officially met beyond just meeting me at the beginning of this lesson, my name is Laurel. I used to be very much a trial and error Tracy. These are thoughts I used to have. I would feel like, when am I going to be confident? Where is my unique style? I don't have predictable results. I don't know how to make my paintings pop. I don't know if I can sell my art. I just felt really, really frustrated. I was trying my best and I was trying to create work that I was proud of, but I was really struggling artistically. And I was really frustrated when I was painting. This is me a couple years ago painting in my kitchen before having a studio. It was this weird state that I was in because I also thought I already learned everything I could about painting. I took some classes, I thought I knew everything, and I just didn't understand why my paintings weren't making me happy. And I realized if I wanted to get my ideas from my head to the canvas and have my paintings pop with color, I needed to learn what I didn't know. So I took some more classes finally. I went down the research rabbit hole and it was very overwhelming. It was a lot, but something needed to change in my art to take that next step. And then it kind of clicked. And I realized that what I was missing was specific techniques and color skills that would bring my ideas to life. I had learned these really quickly only one time, and I didn't really remember any of them. But once I learned these specific skills, which I'm going to tell you in a minute, my vision as an artist really started to emerge. So very quickly, after learning these lessons, I had no more muddy colors. I developed a distinctive style, I had confidence, I gained more speed in my painting, so I was able to get more done, and these awesome opportunities for art shows and markets and eventually my own studio started to appear, which was amazing. So basically after that, what I did is I created my own painting education and ideal painting practice so that I could make incredible paintings that were never muddy or dull. So that painting practice led to my unique style, which is now really recognizable to people who shop for art in Boston and come to these markets. So this is a picture of me at a holiday market from a couple years ago. So that's how my vision to canvas method was born. And I'm going to share all the mistakes I made and the skills I learned right now so that you don't have to figure it out yourself. So feel free to either screenshot these slides or I will share them that you can download right underneath this video. So here we go. So the skills I'm going to share with you today don't require a lot of time or special equipment or space. I started using them when I was just painting at my kitchen table. So no matter where you're painting, you can use them now. And you're going to practice and refine them over time. You don't need to worry about perfecting them like right this second. You're just going to keep practicing them for as long as you're an artist. So I started using these, like I said, painting at my kitchen table, and I use them now in my studio alongside my little art buddy. This is my son, Jesse. So my process now is made up of small practical skills. And like I said, you can use them right now, like right after you watch this video. So before going over the painting method and actual skills, I want to share 3 huge mistakes that I was making that led to a big disconnect between my ideas and my actual paintings. So mistake number 1 was buying more tubes of paint to make the perfect pop of color. So we tend to believe that buying more paint colors will make more vibrant colors. Like, why else would the paint company make so many colors if we didn't need them all, right? So actually, I figured out if buying more colors actually made our paintings glow, then why would we still be searching for that magic pop of color? Spoiler alert, there is no magic color. You're probably buying too many tubes of the wrong colors, at least at the beginning of your painting practice. So here's what happens. You can probably relate to this. You stand in front of this wall, this is my local Blick store, and get color FOMO and pick the pretty colors that don't necessarily go together. And you end up with this drawer, this junk drawer of paint that's a mix of too many brands, a lot of really opaque colors that don't mix well together. There's a lot of pigments inside one tube of color, and they end up half wasted. This is my junk drawer of paints that I ended up throwing away. So maybe you have this as well. And that leads to paintings that are like this. These aren't bad, but they're not vibrant. Some of these are my paintings, some of these are my students' paintings, and they're just okay, but they're not leaping off the screen with pops of color, right? So here are the colors that you actually need. You might want to start with this set. This is the colors that I paint with, or you might want to experiment with your own palette, but they're going to want to follow these rules. So you want to use the colors of the rainbow. You want single pigment paints. This is something that really blew my mind. It's really small on this screen, but for instance, if you look at the quinacridone magenta tube, right under quinacridone magenta, it actually says PR 122. That's the pigment that's in the paint. There is one pigment in this paint. Sometimes you accidentally end up buying mixture colors that have white mixed into them already. Maybe they are like, for example, phthalo turquoise or something has, I'm giving a bad example, but maybe a teal has phthalo turquoise in it and titanium white. White's going to make it really difficult to mix with other colors, and you end up with a muddy color and you don't know why. So you want single pigment colors that you are in control of. You want transparent paint colors that mix beautifully and still let a lot of light in and make them glow. Like I said, you want colors that mix well together. If they're single pigment, they're transparent, and they're colors of the rainbow, they're going to mix well together. And you really do want to invest in high quality paint. I am not picky about my brushes. I'm not picky about my canvas. But when it comes to paint, I will splurge on the golden acrylics, which to me are, no pun intended, the gold standard when it comes to acrylics. So splurge on your paint, even if everything else is pretty cheap. So if you do that, your paintings are going to pop like this because you're going to be in control of your colors. So these are my paintings. They are so much more vibrant than this, right? Again, these aren't bad. These are beginner paintings. They're not popping. These are. When I got control of my colors, I started being able to make paintings like this. So why is a smaller, high quality paint collection better? Number one, your color mixtures are going to be more vibrant. I made all of these colors that you're looking at just from those tubes on the top. Every color you mix is going to go well together because they all have the same parent colors, if you will. So all those colors are going to look really nice, and your paintings are going to go well together. If you're creating all your colors from, let's say, a group of 10, let's call them parent colors, the resulting paintings are going to look beautiful next to each other. And hopefully, people will want to put more than one next to each other in their home. It will look cohesive and it will start to look like your paintings. And number three, vibrant colors stand out to potential collectors or people who just want to look at your beautiful art, especially online. So this is my Instagram. On the left, you can see these are more recent photos. They're really popping. This is not edited at all. And then on the right is 2016. They're dull. They're not really jumping off the page. They're not bad, but they are nowhere near as vibrant as the paintings on the left. And it's pretty obvious. I would stop when I was scrolling through that if I saw paintings like this. So bottom line, the more random tubes of paint you buy, the more time and paint you're going to waste. When you have high quality colors and you mix them yourself, your paintings are going to pop. This is a really easy lesson you can implement right now. So mistake number 2 that I made is using trial and error to choose the next colors in my painting. Maybe you're doing this too. So sometimes when we're painting, we don't know exactly which color the painting needs next. So we test different colors until one just quote unquote works. You can't explain it, but it just looks good and you just know that you have selected it. Choosing colors this way really does waste time in paint because you end up with all those layers underneath other colors and you can't see them. So on the right, this is actually a picture from an old Instagram story of mine, and I literally wrote on the top the caption, "I hope this works." I just kind of had to hope the colors work because I didn't know how to select them. So I don't want you to test and randomly choose colors. I want you to know why you are choosing a certain color and why that color works. So when you use trial and error to pick your colors, you're going to end up like this artichoke painting that I made. It took me 5 hours to finish. I was feeling really frustrated. It's just an okay painting. Those colors don't really go well together. I was covering up every mistake that I made and every color that I was testing. So I was ultimately wasting those colors, and I was just choosing random colors hoping they would mix and look good together, and they didn't. So the best way to choose your colors is to use a color palette to guide your choices. When you do that, when you use a color palette to pick your colors, you're going to paint a lot faster. This painting took me about an hour to finish, it becomes more easy and fun. The process is more enjoyable. The painting pops off the canvas. There's no need to cover your mistakes because you're making fewer of them. And choosing colors from your palette makes everything a lot more cohesive. So there are 2 ways to choose a color palette, and both are really fun, and you can alternate using these, which is what I do. So the first method is to quote unquote steal color palettes, and the second is using the color wheel, and I'll show you both. So stealing color palettes, all that means is collecting colorful photos from magazines, maybe Pinterest, and then mixing each of the colors you see from the photo with your beautiful, smaller selection of higher quality colors we discussed before, and then use that collection of colors in your next painting. So here's a perfect example of that. The top photo is from Pinterest. I looked at all the individual colors and created those from my high quality paint collection, and then I painted the painting on the bottom with all those colors, so I knew they'd go together because I already saw them in a beautiful photo. The other option is to use a color wheel. So you can get color wheels that look just like the one in the picture. They've got these triangles and rectangles on them, and those point to beautiful color schemes. They have different names, which I'm not going to get into right now, but all you want to do is you select the type of color scheme you want to use, those triangles and those rectangles. You pick one, you line the arrows up with the different colors, and you use that color scheme in your next painting. So it's a little hard to explain without being able to actually show you the color wheel, but this painting here, what I did is I selected that rectangular color scheme that is, parallel to the ground, perfect rectangle there, and it had blue violet, it had blue green, yellow orange, and red orange, and those were the colors that I selected, and then I made the painting on the right. So I want you to stop using trial and error to pick the next color in your painting, and instead I want you to find a color palette that you love and use it to guide your color choices when you get stuck. So mistake number 3, the final mistake, is focusing on color over contrast to make your paintings come alive. So we all love color, right? That's probably why you're watching this. But sometimes even when you add tons of different colors, your paintings still feel flat. So this is an ice cream painting I was working on. You saw it before when I was just hoping that the colors would work. Now there's a lot of colors, but it is not popping off the canvas. And this is because I was focusing too much on color and not enough on contrast. So your painting doesn't have all that means for contrast is that your painting doesn't have enough super light colors and super dark colors. So I turned this to black and white, and you can see it's all shades of gray, really muted, right? So to fix this problem, you need to know the value contrast scale. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color on a shade from white to black. That's it. Every color has a value on a scale from white to black. These are the same photo, full color on the left, black and white on the right. Each of these colors has a corresponding value or tone of gray, white, or black. If you are only using colors with a value of gray, your paintings are going to feel flat. All of these colors here, super flat, different shades of gray. That ice cream is not popping. These are some of my old paintings from probably about 7 or 8 years ago. That's exactly what I was doing. They were not popping off the canvas. You can see that right there, turning them to black and white, not popping. If you use colors with super light and super dark values in addition to gray, your paintings are going to pop. So on the right, that is the exact same ice cream painting I showed you before, but I really focused on value and made the colors really, really pop and have a lot of contrast. If you use colors with super light and super dark values, again, your paintings are going to pop. These are some of my newer paintings. These are from about 2 or 3 years ago, and you can see they are so much more vibrant than these, right? It's pretty obvious. Turn them to black and white. Lots of contrast. So the way to do that, super simple. You can always test the value of your colors with your phone. You just take a picture of your painting with your phone, go to edit, turn it to black and white, and then add colors that match the missing values. Simple as that. So to recap, why is contrast so important? We actually notice value contrast before we notice color. If something is really striking, it probably has a lot of contrast. Value is what stops viewers in their tracks, even online, and higher contrast is going to get more people to stop and look at your work, which is what we all want. Color is awesome, but it's not enough. It is contrast that makes paintings pop off the canvas. So next up, what I'm going to show you is the painting method that I use so that you can use it too and develop your own unique vision and actually get that vision onto the canvas now that you know how to make your paintings pop without making those mistakes. So this is my vision to canvas method. It's not exactly as scientific as I've made it look here, but it has 4 parts and I'm going to dive into each one. So step 1 is eliminating creative blocks. Step 2 is mastering your painting toolkit. Step 3 is uncovering your inspiration and your style. And then step 4 is getting it on the canvas, which is the purpose of being an artist. So number 1 is dealing with creative blocks so you don't get stuck before you even start. When we let our fears become creative blocks, those blocks take over, we procrastinate painting, or we don't paint at all. We have all been there and it sucks. This was me when I was feeling that way. I had thoughts like, my art will never be good enough. I don't have enough talent. These techniques are too hard. I'll never make another good painting. I know that you can relate to that because all artists go through a period of feeling this way. But with your vibrant vision mindset, you're going to identify your unique blocks. You're going to transform those blocks into excitement, get motivated from excitement, and paint more, which is what we all want to do. So these 4 steps, like I said, they're going to help you turn those creative blocks into motivation instead of procrastination. So all you need to do is identify your unique block. For me, that was, I don't know what I'm doing. That was the phrase that kept repeating in my head. Transform the block into excitement. So instead of, I don't know what I'm doing, I would write on a Post-it note, I'm excited to learn the skills I need to paint better. So instead of, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm excited to learn the skills. That will help to motivate you from getting excited. And I had another Post-it note, this is actually from my wall, which says, I have the skills I need to bring my ideas to life. And then I felt motivated and I was able to paint more. So just a very simple way to identify what's holding you back and just flipping it into excitement. You are not going to be able to grow as an artist unless you address your unique creative blocks and actually start believing that you can learn these skills. When you do, you're going to be really excited to paint, and your painting skills are going to improve because you're actually practicing. You don't need to rely on raw talent alone. That's not what makes a great artist. It's about artists who continue to practice and get better. So this is Lauren. She was one of my students, and she talked a lot about this. She said she had a lot of anxiety with the painting process. She didn't paint a lot. It took a lot of her energy. But then she started incorporating the color lessons I was teaching her, and you can see her bird paintings went from kind of flat and dull to literally flying off the canvas and being so vibrant, and she was so much more proud of them, and you can see the difference. I don't even have to explain the difference. It's amazing. So part 2 of my method is mastering your color tools so your paintings always come alive. I think this is the most important lesson of all of them, in my personal opinion. Once you've turned your fears into motivation, you actually need the right skills to make awesome paintings. I didn't have those skills, so my paintings were not awesome. You do not need complicated theories. If you don't know, I did not go to art school. I just learned the techniques I actually needed, which are versatile, powerful color skills. I like to say you need tools over rules. Everyone wants to skip past learning painting skills, but doing that makes painting a lot harder. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you do need to learn them. So here are the exact color tools you need to bring your paintings to life. Get your screenshot buttons ready. You need color mixing. You need to understand color charts. You need to understand color blending, color bias, neutralizing your colors, so using neutral colors in addition to super vibrant colors. You need to know transparency versus opacity, lightening versus brightening colors, color contrasts, how they really work together to make each color pop, color layering, color schemes, which we touched on before. That's the same as color palettes, color and composition, how to actually put a painting together with color, and capturing emotion with color. There are more, and I'm sure other artists would have other lists, but this is my ultimate list of the tools you need. And this is why each of them are so important. Again, feel free to screenshot this. You need color mixing to avoid mixing mud. You need color charts to know how to mix any color. You need color blending to avoid muddy transitions. You need color bias to understand color temperature, to actually be in control of the image you're trying to paint. You need to neutralize your colors to give your paintings balance. You need transparency and opacity to make your paintings glow. You also need lightening versus brightening your colors to make your paintings glow. You need to understand color contrasts to make paintings that pop. You need color layering to give your paintings depth. Color schemes keep your colors and your paintings cohesive. Color and composition make more captivating art. And you obviously need to capture emotion with color so that you can express your unique vision as an artist. There is no right way to use these tools, but without them, you really can't problem solve. You can't paint on larger canvases because you'll just get overwhelmed, and you really can't develop your unique style. You cannot create paintings that come alive without these color tools. So if you take nothing else away, definitely start practicing these color tools. This is Maggie, another one of my students. She really felt haphazard in her process, but now she has a pathway of skills to follow and she can problem solve as she goes. So the point of painting is not to avoid mistakes altogether or avoid problems, it's knowing how to solve them. So this is Maggie's paintings. Before, she had this portrait, feels very flat, she didn't really know how to finish it. And this is after, this beautiful vibrancy and a gorgeous portrait that she was able to finish and was really proud of. And this is Stacy, same thing as before. She really said what a difference when you understand what you're actually doing, and she thinks and plans more on how she's going to combine her colors together. And when she first started learning my lessons, she had these paintings that were unfinished. And after she learned them, she was actually able to bring them to completion and really make them more vibrant. I really love the elephant. It really is popping off the canvas in a way that it wasn't before. Okay. Part 3, this is what everybody wants to know, right? How to develop your vision and your style. So there's 3 simple steps that you can practice over and over again to develop your style. So once you've got the tools, it's time to develop your vision and style to set yourself apart from other artists. So most artists want to have a recognizable style or vision, but they either don't know what to paint or how to paint in a way that's unique to them. So these are the 3 steps to develop your vision. You have to clarify your current skill level, decide which skills to improve, and paint your story to practice your skills and develop your style. What do I mean by that? Clarifying your current skill level looks like asking yourself, what do you like about your paintings? What do you wish was different? And what specific skills do you need to work on to get there? You need to be able to articulate what you actually need to improve and which tool you need to work on before you can actually start getting better. Number 2 is deciding which skills to improve. So I do that by asking myself, what artists do I admire? Which skills in their work do I love, or what parts of their work do I love? And how can I apply those techniques and elements to, I was asking myself, my own paintings without copying. So this is a screenshot of my Instagram saved folder with some painting inspiration. None of these paintings are mine. Some of them are my friends, some of them are artists I don't know, but I was able to look at them and say, okay, for example, those, the picture halfway down on the left-hand side, those tomatoes, I loved the contrast. I loved the texture of that painting. Okay, how can I add more contrast and more texture to my painting? How do I work on those skills? Or another example is the top right. I love the line work. I love the brush strokes. I love the energy and the movement of those lines. How can I incorporate learning to improve my brush strokes, the movement, and the energy into my own work? That's exactly what I do, and you can do that too. And then number 3, you can paint your story to practice your skills and develop your style. So ask yourself, what images represent your story? How can you practice your skills while painting those images? The way you paint a story and incorporate those specific skills over time, that becomes your style. It's not something you need to find outside of yourself. It's something that actually evolves and comes from you over time. So this is a screenshot of my camera reel on my phone. So I save photos that I take, that people send to me, that I take when I'm out at dinners and lunches. You can see oysters and Dairy Queen and ice cream and coffee. These are the photos that I am painting when I don't know what to paint. I look here and I practice my skills while painting them. So by developing your vision, you can figure out what skills you want to focus on, find inspiration without copying other artists, develop your own style, and know what to paint because you're telling your story. And when your vision is clear, you can show up confidently as an artist, and your viewers are going to recognize your work as yours. And that way you can start showing off your work online and at shows. So this is Nicole, a friend and student of mine, and she said, you can see she struggled with finding her style, but with better techniques, she was able to find it over time. So this is one of her paintings on the left. She wasn't super happy with it. She wanted more vibrancy. She wanted it to glow. And then she incorporated some skills and really achieved that with her painting on the right. Okay, so step 4, the final step, is getting your vision from your head to your canvas with a repeatable painting process. Okay, so you're excited to paint, you've gotten over your blocks, you've got the skills, and you have the steps to develop your vision, but you need a repeatable process for actually creating paintings and getting them on the canvas. So without a process, you're going to get caught up in the details of every painting. You're not going to be able to paint quickly, complete a collection of paintings, and paint enough to have work to sell if that matters to you, or just have enough to have a collection that explains who you are as an artist. So it's time to go from your head to the canvas. Here are the steps that I follow, whether the painting is small, large, simple, or complicated. You start with the background, head to an outline, add in your values, those super light and dark colors, fill in the colors, I call that color blocking. You enter the ugly middle part, which is inevitable. That's where it looks like a disaster and you don't know what to do. Usually it's take a break and decide what skills you need to improve. Once you get through that, which you always will, head to the details, and then a value check, like we talked about before. Take a picture, turn it to black and white. That's it. This is the process that I follow every single time. It's not always easy, but it's simple. Following these steps each time helps you work on more paintings at a time. You can work on collections. I am always working on more than one painting at a time. You can paint larger and faster. It feels less overwhelming. You can move faster. You're going to know when your painting is done because you actually have a process to follow, and you're going to stop leaving unfinished paintings in the corner. I know you have a collection of unfinished paintings in the corner because every artist does, but you'll actually be able to go back into them and finish some of them. So you can stop getting caught up in the details and follow a repeatable process to get that amazing vision out of your head and onto the canvas. So another one of my students I want to introduce you to, this is Tamika. She really found that the biggest change to her painting process is structure, and she has a whole method to follow now. So these are her old paintings on the left, and then these are her gorgeous, vibrant paintings on the right. Really beautiful, lots of flowers from her garden, and I just really admire the growth that she was able to have. So if you take one thing away from the lessons you just learned, I want you to know that learning and practicing these painting skills is how you're going to develop your style and share your vision as an artist. You're not going to become the artist you were meant to be if you don't learn these skills and practice them. It doesn't always come naturally. It's not always raw talent. It's just practice over and over and over. So you need to get your vision onto the canvas so that you can connect with others through your art, uncover your unique style, develop confidence in yourself as an artist, achieve predictable painting results, paint larger, make better use of your painting time, which might be limited, and get amazing opportunities and maybe sell your paintings if that's something that you are looking forward to doing. So if you do want to explore selling your art, learning and practicing these skills is extremely important. So these skills are what allow you to develop into a one-of-a-kind artist whose art people want in their homes. And again, this is me in my little studio with my unique and recognizable painting style. So I do really quickly, I want to make a quick side note if you do want to sell your art. So creating an art business requires a combination of growth mindset and kind of, thinking about business things and being able to grow and be flexible over time. Marketing, of course, to actually sell your art, and painting skills, which is what we're covering here. So strong painting skills are just as important as mindset and marketing. I used to focus way too much on mindset and marketing and not enough on painting skills. It is all about keeping yourself motivated, learning and practicing the skills, consistently sharing the art you make, and evolving as an artist. I promise you, please listen to me when I say this, there are no secrets to becoming a great artist and selling your work. There is no one style that sells better than others. There are no secrets. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you. Plain and simple, you just need to focus on your painting skills, sharing your art, which is marketing, and being in the mindset of growing and learning over time. Okay, back to the focus. Now you get to choose who you want to be as an artist. Do you want to be a trial and error Tracy, staying stuck in your head, keeping that vision in your head? Or do you want to be a confident Casey, getting your vision from your head to your canvas and making your paintings pop? I'm pretty sure I know who you want to be, or you wouldn't be watching this. So you can use all the lessons I just taught you to gain confidence in your painting practice and level up as an artist literally right now. So watch this video as many times as you want, take screenshots. I will make these slides downloadable as a PDF. You can download them and just keep watching and learning and practicing over and over again until you get that vision out of your head. I know you can do it. So if you want step-by-step guidance and deeper lessons into painting techniques, I want to show you the online painting course I created to teach you each of these lessons in more depth. It is called Vibrant Vision because that's exactly what you're trying to get out of your head. So I created this course after talking with dozens of artists and listening to exactly what they wanted to learn. Like I said, the course is called Vibrant Vision and I'm really proud of it. So I just want to show it to you if that's something that you could use in your painting practice right now. So these are the lessons inside the course. So I'm going to show you the lessons in it and exactly what you'll learn. So the course is the vision to canvas method that I just outlined for you, but just with a deeper dive into lessons breaking down each part. And it teaches you how to apply the lessons you just learned into your actual painting practice if you would like some more help doing that instead of doing it on your own. So the course teaches you how to get and stay motivated to paint. It gives you a library of every single color technique I just outlined and all the techniques you just learned and that you need. It covers each skill in depth, which I don't have time to do here, and it keeps you from mixing muddy colors ever again, which is something I know I wanted as an artist. And the course, it really walks you through developing your own style. It gives you the artist vocabulary that you need to understand what you need to learn. It helps you recognize which skills you personally need to practice because they're going to be different for each artist. And it gives you a repeatable painting process for finished painting. So all the screenshots on the right-hand side are just screenshots from inside the course. You can see some of the titles of the videos there. And this is a non-exhaustive lesson list because you can see I ran out of room on the bottom. But I'm just going to read you through some of the lessons that you will find in this course under the Mastering Your Painting Techniques section. So I have lessons on dealing with creative blocks, cracking the color mixing code, using color charts, blending brilliantly, calming down your colors, color bias, lightening versus brightening, mixing the same color twice, color contrast, color in depth, layering properly, painting the colors you feel instead of just the colors you see, stealing color palettes, focal points for showing people where to look in your painting, composition, developing your vision, getting your vision on the canvas, and a whole lot more that I do not have room to list here. And I actually have bonus resources too that I created from requests over time. So some of those extra resources and tutorials include book and podcast recommendations for artists, how to photograph and print your art, which has become critical to my art business, how to fix paintings that you hate, that pile of unfinished paintings in the corner, how to deal with those, how to do outdoor art markets, and some bonus painting projects like the one you can see on the right so that you can actually practice the skills without thinking about what to paint. And the course is this price. It's $250 or $125 over 2 months. They're exactly the same. You get unlimited access, all of the lessons, everything in there. I'm not going to read all of this. You can read it yourself. This is the same price as a 6-week in-person course I used to teach. And in person, at this price, I was able to teach a fraction of what I'm able to teach in this course. So I wanted to bundle up literally everything I know about painting and put it in this course for you. And that's what you'll find. So it's pretty much the same price as a painting course you would take for adults at like a continuing education center. Boston has those, but a whole lot more. So a lot better of a value, I would say. And if you want to sign up, you just go to laurelgreenfieldart.com/online classes. Whatever page you're watching on, there's a button underneath this as well. You can just click on that and check it out. But this is really the best course I could create with all the foundational painting skills you need. And you only need to learn these skills once. It's the practicing that you need to do each time you paint. And I created this course too because teaching in person really limited me to the people who could show up, people who were able to take time either away from their family or their kids and show up to a physical location. But by putting all these lessons online, I'm able to meet you where you are. I'm able to, join you at your kitchen table or maybe on a break from work or something like that. So I created this to give you these lessons without you having to leave your house and to reach more artists, which is my ultimate goal. So my goal with this course is to help you develop your unique voice, for you to gain confidence as an artist, and for you to share your vision with the world. You deserve to have your art seen. You deserve to be heard as an artist. And with these skills, you're going to be able to do that. And of course, the ultimate goal is to learn every painting technique you need to succeed, whatever that means to you. Whether success is just painting as a hobby and really enjoying the process with less stress, or if it's to sell your art. Both are amazing goals, and both are equally important when you're an artist. Just one quick last thing before we go, I wanted to show you a couple more students I didn't get to show you before who were able to use these lessons to transform their paintings. This is Gina. She lives on a farm in Kansas, and she was able to capture her farms in her paintings on the right, which are so beautiful and vibrant. This is Mandy. She wanted to paint some portraits of her family instead of just sticking with the line work and the flowers she was doing before. You can see the skills really are incredible. And then this is Marie as well. She had these dancers that she wanted to paint and she couldn't quite get it, but then she learned these skills, and you can see the amazing dancers that she's able to capture, their twirling skirts and their hair. It's incredible. If you learn these skills and you don't see your work improve, I will help you individually. And if that doesn't help you, I will give you your money back within 14 days. That is how confident I am in these lessons. They're going to help you. If you devote the time to learning them and practicing, I promise you will see a huge difference. And again, reach out on Instagram. If you're wondering if this course is a good fit for you, feel free to DM me. We can chat. You can ask me questions about what specifically is in the course. If there's something I didn't cover, please feel free, reach out. Laurel Greenfield Art on Instagram. And thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day, out of your life to watch this. And whether you join the course or not, I really hope that you can learn at least one thing that I shared with you. You can incorporate these right now, like I said. And if you know another artist out there who's struggling to get their vision out of their head, please send them this video, and happy painting. Thank you so much.